Hey guys, I wanted to use this time to talk about how teams, new teams specifically, can go into a game, go over a map, create a default, but more importantly, what the players' responsibilities are, aside separate from the in-game leader's responsibilities in terms of discovering what they need to do in their own role, in their own positions, and how they can work off teammates that they play with. So I'm going to use Dust 2 right now. I haven't talked about Dust 2 really that much. So as an in-game leader for Terraside of Dust 2, I'll have different philosophy from the next in-game leader. What I like to do on Terraside Dust 2 is I'll have one person playing outside long, one person holding upper B tunnels, and three people are going to work their way to taking cat control. My goal on Terraside default is to take cat control. In my opinion, having cat control allows you to do whatever you want. You can go back into B splits, A splits. You can do a full executions with like full smokes on the bomb site. You can do a 4-1 through long A, 4-1 upper B. You can fake mid to B and then go up A. You can go fake mid to B, go out upper B. Like there's so many different possibilities you can do. So my goal is to achieve cat control. But as an in-game leader, when I'm going over a strategy and I'm telling my team, all right, we're doing the default, me, this guy, and this guy are going to take cat control, you sit outside long and you go B tunnels. If I just say sit outside long or go B tunnels, I'm not explaining what they need to do. I need to let them know, okay, so we're going to be working up cat, and if we're working up cat and there's no enemies on cat and we're just taking it at our own pace, you should be listening outside long for info. Okay? If at long you don't hear anything, no grenades, you don't hear footsteps, movement, spamming, there's nothing at all, it's completely quiet, you need to let us know that they can be on cat. And then one of two things you can do. One of the things is you can actually peek out and look for information here to see if the enemies are long or not. But sometimes you might get shot by an op. You need to know if there could be an op or not. So maybe you throw a flashbang before you peek out. The other thing you could do is you can say, hey, I don't hear them long. I think they're playing short. And then if the guys who are taking cat control have that information, then they know that they can bait grenades here and see a response from the enemies. If there's a counter flash, maybe a smoke, maybe they hear footsteps, maybe someone spams their weapon because they're blind, then you know what, they are on cat. Now you can work out long. And this long guy knows, okay, there aren't enemies on cat, I'm going to take position of long. If he can get to this position here, throw a flash, and then get into the pit, this is huge. You have a huge positional advantage just from information. So when you're telling the long guy, just sit outside long, we're going to take cat control. Like, you need to explain to the long guy in, very common situations, if they're playing cat, what you should do at long. Now he knows two things he can try. One is he can peek out and see if there's anyone here and then go out. And two, if he doesn't hear anything, he doesn't want to peek out because there might be an op or post out on him, he can have his teammates make a little bit noise at cat first. If the cat guys say, hey, you know what, they're on cat, now the long guy has that opportunity to push out long and get into the pit and take positional advantage. But this long guy, you want to make sure that you tell him, hey dude, at long, you need to stay alive at the start of the round until we're in position to take cat control. You can't be dying early, you can't take these early gunfights. So it's absolutely fine if the long guy wants to every now and then take a fight if he thinks that he can get a 1 versus 1 engagement against probably another rifler if he has a rifle himself. And it's an acceptable battle. If he dies, you know what? It's worth it. If it's just a 1 versus 1 aim duel, it's completely worth it as a terrorist. But you don't want to get into the habit of just trying to fight this long player over and over again. So you just need to, as an in-game leader, explain to this player whose job it is to control long, what his, boundaries are, what his roles and responsibilities are here, and just to let him know the pace of the round, that he won't be doing much at long until you guys are ready to take cat or you guys are actually taking cat control. Same thing with the B tunnel player. I mean, it's absolutely acceptable if the guy wants to prod in and get information at B, find out kind of where the enemies are playing. Are they pre-smoking it and then moving back plat? Are they pre-mollying it to stop a rush, and then when the molly goes, they smoke it? This is all vital information that the in-game leader needs, because if the in-game leader wants to call a B rush, they need to know, okay, where the player's going to be playing in the site. Well, generally speaking, a CT is going to go and do the same routine every round because they know it works. Unless you're abusing them every round, they're going to keep doing the same thing. So whether that be they smoke tunnels and then they run to back platform and get set up behind the box back here, if you learn what the enemy is doing and then you just feed that information back to your in-game leader, it's going to open up more opportunities for you guys to run different tactics in the half. So this B tunnel player needs to know, okay, my job here primarily is to listen for information at B, find out if they're smoking, mollying, what are they doing at the start of the round, where are they positioning themselves, are they playing 2 in B, or does one push into B, stop a rush, then he rotates back out. That's his primary job. And to watch out for B tunnel push. If the CTs decide to push in the tunnels, his job is to be in one of these positions to stop it. Maybe he's sitting back here, maybe he's sitting in here, maybe he's sitting out here. It doesn't matter where he's sitting, but if as long as he's looking for a push, that's good. His secondary job is to be in a position to support his mid players so that they can get up cat. So maybe it's to come and smoke mid doors, maybe it's to flash up cat, maybe it's to flash over mid. Whatever the case may be, his job is to be in a position where he can help with this mid control or cat control, and then go back to watching upper. And the same thing as the long guy. You can say, look, you can go for a kill if you feel you can get a 1 versus 1 aim duel. It's an acceptable risk. If the enemy is giving you this engagement, it's cool. But primarily, you're there for info until we take cat control. And the rest of the guys on the team, you need to say, all right, let's take cat control together. You know what? We can have 2-3 different ways that we do it. One of the ways we can do it from lower B. And as we come through lower B, we'll just smoke off mid doors like this. And then we'll flash over mid. We'll flash over cat. We'll bait flashes and nades and everything. We'll molly the stairs. And then the person who uses everything, he'll go up cat first. Maybe that's one way you do it. Maybe another way that you do it is instead you do a smoke for Xbox and you go the long way to short and you only have one person be tunnels and that person is going to be holding for a push. And you smoke off mid like that, and you flash over mid and you flash cat. Maybe this is the way that you take cat, a different way. Maybe the third way you take cat is you don't smoke at all and you let your opper just walk up here and post on mid, and then as he's posting on mid, that's when you guys just start taking cat control. And once you have cat control, maybe you do it completely dry, and then that allows you to walk out mid and it doesn't telegraph your play to your opponent. Maybe you have these 3 different ways, depending on what your enemy's buy is. Are they opping middle? Are they not opping middle? Maybe they're rifling mid. Maybe they have 2 people peeking mid with rifles. In that situation, maybe you want to not smoke mid doors and let your opper go for picks on the mid guys, because if they peek you, it's a pretty easy kill for an opper. So it's not just one way that you take cat control, it's multiple ways. So as an in-game leader, you go and you break down the map, you say, look, this is how I want to run the default, 1 outside long, 1 outside B, 3 people taking cat control. But it's beyond just assigning players to certain positions. You need to explain to them what their job in these positions are. The long guy knows, okay, sit back, get info, and sometimes you can go for a duel. Most of the time, just get info. If they're on cat, I can go out long. If they're not on cat, I just wait here for a push, let my teammates take cat control, and then my in-game later will tell me what to do mid-round. If they want to do back to long, maybe I'll do a long fake and go out up cat with my team. Maybe I'll go and hold green box while my teammates go somewhere else, like mid to B. That will be discussed later on. That's more complicated. That comes with practice and building chemistry with your team. But just knowing what you're supposed to do beyond just go outside long is very important, because you need to have everyone on the same page. Everyone needs to know what their responsibilities are on this team and what the rest of the team is also doing, and how long it takes for the rest of the team to do their goals. So if it takes the cat guys, 30 seconds from the time that they're at lower B to actually fully take cat control, then this long guy knows he's going to be sitting around for, 45 seconds of the round doing nothing. Just maybe he's looking for a push from here. Maybe he's up close here listening for any movement at long. Maybe he's a little bit closer, both watching for a push and listening for info, but at a more advanced position where you can hear things. You need to explain this as an in-game leader to the team. And then the team, like the rest of the team, they have their own responsibilities. For example, this is the way, the in-game leader might have his own vision on how to take cat control. Maybe, it's the best way. Maybe it's not the best way. Maybe someone else on the team has an idea on how to get up cat safely, or maybe they have a pop flash. So what these players need to do once the in-game leader goes over the map and you play it a couple times and just run through the routine briefly, the next day before you guys get on for team practice, it's the player's responsibility. Maybe I'm one of the guys that's going up cat. Maybe my job the next day before team practice in my own time after I'm deathmatching and everything, I'll come to a server and I'll just look for pop flashes. I'll just sit at different positions. I'll aim at different preset positions, and I'll see where these flashbangs are exploding, what they're going to affect. Maybe it gets just the guy on the ledge, maybe it gets the guy behind the stairs, maybe it gets everything. Maybe I throw a flash over here, which gets anyone on the ledge up here. Like, maybe we need to use 2 flashes. What happens if the enemy throws a smoke grenade here? How are we going to get through it? Do we want to do a deep flash and a shallow flash? Maybe we do the molly and then the shallow flash and the deep flash. So these are all thoughts that should be going through the players' heads. And then when you come back for practice the next day and you go over Dust 2 again the next day, players should go up to the in-game leader and say, hey, I was in the server on my own earlier today. I found out a nice routine that we could try. If the enemies smoke off our cat and we're trying to take cat control, this is what we could try. And if everyone brings their own idea on how to do it, and then you kind of all talk about it, and you say, all right, let's try this way and this way in our practice coming up. And in the practice, your enemy smokes cat off, you try the first way, and it's not working after a few times, and you try the second way, and the second way does work. Then you can say, all right, the second way's been working a little bit better. Let's continue using the second way in our practices if the enemy does smoke off cat. So these are all things that all of the players on the team have a responsibility to do and help out the in-game leader. The in-game leader can only do so much, and it's very good to have people thinking outside the box. So this is just a brief overview of Terra's side of Dust 2, just a default, how all the players are supposed to kind of fit into all the positions on the map, and what the players' responsibilities are, aside from the in-game leader, to assist the in-game leader with actually establishing a proper setup, a proper routine, and being the best you guys can be as a team. Anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, remember to subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or comments about the videos, leave a comment and I'll check it out and see if I can accommodate next time. Peace.